on the 60th anniversary of the Workers' Party of Korea, the National Book Exhibition was held in grand style.
The next stop on our tour of North Korean boredom and propaganda was the Great People's Library, which is this massive library that they're very, very excited about. And they make you walk the whole goddamn thing. And the first thing you learn is that Kim Jong-il invented the best, most perfect reading desk, because you can alter the level of the desk.
So gradually they personally sit down on the chair and taught us that the desk should be remade conveniently for the readers, to regulate it according to the sitting height of the readers.
Kim Jong-il invented it, and it's the best desk ever. And you're like, okay, it's a table with, like, you can move a level. It's like a simple table. Then they take you to the philosopher hotline, which I found pretty interesting, which is if you have a philosophical Marxist dialectic problem, then you can come to the library and ask the sort of philosopher god.
They come here to ask professors about their questions. Then the professors give them the correct answers immediately. In this auditorium, we give lectures collectively and also held scientific seminars. So the persons with academic degrees or titles are taking part in the scientific seminars.
And that's it. Thank you. The other thing I found amazing is they're very proud of their modern music library. They've got the Beatles and they've got Bob Dylan and stuff. But the music room was completely empty. And I started thinking about why they have this kind of place. It seemed to me that it was used for maybe upper echelons or party officials or guides or wannabe guards to learn idiomatic speech so that they'll understand what we say when we talk in vernacular. So you can sort of picture them with headphones on listening, going, Abbey Road, I understand those bastards now.
The project was truly a summing up of construction engineering, hydraulic engineering, hydrometeorology, and all other science and technology humanity has so far achieved. A grand monument that could be built by the Korean people only, led by the great leaders.
They made us get up at 6 in the morning. We get put in the truck and we just drive. I mean, we drove for like 4 hours. And when we get out, we're at the sea. And there's this huge thing which is called a barrage. I don't know what a barrage was, but it's basically a huge dam. And they've dammed up the Taedong River. And it's just a triumph of the will, and oh my God, it's the biggest, greatest thing we ever did. And now it's being blamed for the huge floods that they have and the famine because of the floods. And it's destroyed all of their rice growing crops, which they don't have much of because it's a mountainous country. He ended up destroying all the arable land that they had left.
You should look a bit aside. You should look, yeah. You don't want him to stand in front of the great leader. I don't want you to block him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to stand to the side. So
Shane, don't stand in front of the dear leader because you're blocking him.
okay. But they're so freaked out about the barrage that we were filming it, which is why you brought us out there, I thought. And they're like, film it, anything more, you're going to jail. Don't stand in front of the dear leader. Our political guard, who we had nicknamed Speedy Gonzales because he looked like a little zippy guy, and he was always everywhere, started to really get mad at us. We just been told not to stand in front of the picture of Kim Jong-il. Actually, Speedy Gonzales, our guard who hates us shooting, just saw us, and he's been not letting us shoot, so I'm just going to talk about the barrage. It's been beautiful, it's nice, and he's looking at us right now. It's freaking me out. He's threatened Jamie, who's shooting this, with criminal action, which means to go to jail here, which would not be enjoyable. He's looking at me now, so we're gonna walk over here, check out the thing, and pretend like we're shooting stuff. They had enough of us by this point. At this point, we started to get really scared. They're like, you know what? Stop filming. Stop shooting anything. It's totally insane.
One more day. I keep telling myself, one more day.
On the auspicious holiday, Kim Jong-il sent precious gifts to kindergartens, wishing the children to blossom their beautiful dreams, emotions and talents from childhood.
One of the sort of fun/sad times is they took us to a school, and it's a school kind of for the best and the brightest and the prodigies, and you go there and you see how great the students are, and here it's just kids in uniforms being incredibly amazing and much better than we are, of course, at everything. You know, the best needle pointers are needle pointing away, and the best guitar players are playing, accordion players, pianists, the best at computer graphics, whatever. They have people for enunciation. There's one kid playing guitar. This is amazing. The guitar was bigger than him. And again, you're like, whoa, these great kids and everything, but it's so sad and so scary because they've been picked out and sort of like, you will learn for the state. And they're learning and learning and learning for the state. And then there's a show.
We're going to an art performance now of the kids, and then we give the flower after the performance. After the performance, we give it to the kids.
You realize everything in this country is for Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il likes shows, he likes Broadway, he likes musicals. These kids are just press ganged into service for the state to provide shows for like the 2 tourists who are there at any given time. And this times 1 billion is what we were about to see with Aryang Games.
To celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Workers' Party of Korea, the mass gymnastic display and act performance Ari Rang, the Kim Il-sung Prize laureate, was given in presence of Kim Jong-il.
Got my ticket. This is the waiting room before we go upstairs to the games. But it's, as you can see, very busy, bustling place.
The only reason why any tourists are allowed into North Korea is because of what you're about to see. The Aryang Games, or the famous mass gymnastics, are 120,000 people who work for about 2 years to do this incredibly elaborate, choreographed, sort of Andrew Lloyd Webber extravaganza, but on acid. You're sitting on a dais reserved for Kim Jong-il, and you see the most insane thing you've ever seen in your life. It's the history of the Korean Revolution as portrayed by 120,000 people doing a simultaneous pantomime. Kim Jong-il likes a spectacle, man, and this is the biggest spectacle in the world.
Thing
Kim Jong-il has shown lofty love and trust to the young people of Korea so that they could succeed to the generation of the Sungun Revolution invariably. The grand torchlight parade of young vanguards began with the flag of the Kim Il-sung Socialist Youth League decorated with the image of President Kim Il-sung in the van.
Just got back from the mass games, and now we're at the restaurant, and they have like seasoned dog, smothered ox rib, which I guess wouldn't be bad, and then that's about it. But as you can see, it's not bustling here. It was kind of nuts at the games because, you know, we were sitting there right where Madeleine Albright sat and right where Kim Jong-il sits, and like we're sitting here, it's just for us. Everyone's clapping, everyone's doing everything for us. You just sit there and you feel like God. Well, you feel like God if you've slept. We haven't slept in about 3 days, and so we're gonna have a beer.
It was our last night, so we went out for our last night karaoke fest, as you do. But what was interesting was it was a South Korean machine and it had some programmed songs in it, Western songs. At first they thought, oh, he's just drunk, making a mockery of a military song, and they didn't know how to deal with it, the women didn't know how to deal with it, and it was just like, what's happening? They have no cultural references whatsoever. So when I finished singing, you know, they're all looking at me like I'm crazy. And I realized they don't know what punk rock is. Not only do they not have rock and roll, they didn't have jazz. They didn't have fucking blues. They never had any of this shit. There are no cultural similarities whatsoever. Sometimes I imagine someone coming from the cowboy times, like someone who comes in a time machine or frozen in ice or something, and you have to explain to them what an airplane is, or you have to explain to them, you know, what supermarkets are. And this is as close as you get to that. This is a time machine. This is 1930s Russia or 1950s Soviet Union. So they see me as the Yankee imperialist aggressor, and I see them as the land that time forgot.
By the great leader Kim Jong-il for the cause of modeling the entire army on the Chuchi idea were displayed at the Korean Revolution Museum. Leader Kim Jong-il put forward it as the general task of army building to turn the people's army into the army of the leader and the party by modeling the entire army on the Chuchi idea.